Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is Lap Guide for Dragon Trail Seaside with a Dodge Viper Group 4. Let's get this started. Gently turn right and bring yourself to the right side of the track. Now just as the red area on the right starts, that is when you want to start to brake, so you brake hard for a short while, gently ease off of the brakes as you turn in, and slowly start to accelerate. If you do this right, you can take this right turn at full throttle. Take this upcoming right turn at full throttle, bring yourself to the left side of the track, and use the start of the grass on the left as your next braking point. Brake hard for a short moment, take your time easing off of the brakes, and be nice and gentle applying the throttle. Bring yourself to the right, and as you pass the orange barriers that are on the left, you want to use just a little bit of your braking power. You just want to adjust the car so that it is set up to take these S's at full throttle. If you do this right, you won't have to do too much steering. You won't have to fight with the car at all. Now bring yourself to the left. Use the 150 meter mark or the very start of the curbs on the left as your next braking point. Brake hard for a short while. Quickly ease off of the brakes, just let the car do the rotation and quickly get on the throttle. Now this is where it's going to get a little tricky, so on time trial mode it is possible to take the chicane flat out. During the race itself, you want to do a little lift off of throttle. So start to turn in when the curb on the right is just about to end, and if you do this right, you should be able to fly through this chicane. Once again, you can do a little lift to adjust the car to make sure it doesn't hit the barriers. Now stay on the left, brake before you reach the 100 meter mark, and you'll be braking hard for a while. And when you start to turn in, you want the car to quickly rotate around this turn so you can get a fast exit out of this turn. Finally, you can take this left turn at full throttle, just stay to the left, and you are good to go. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. Alright, so before I get to the actual strategy itself, I just want to say that my internet has been acting up, so I don't want to get disconnected from a daily race and lose a bunch of DR, so I took the testing over to the custom races. But anyways, you want to be a little careful as you start your first lap since your tires will be cold. This will apply to both the racing medium and the hard tires, so you just want to be a little more careful as your tires start to warm up. You are given the racing medium and hard tires, and of those two tires, the racing hard tires will be the mandatory tires, so make sure you put them on at some point in the race so you do not get the 1 minute penalty that gets applied after the race ends. So this will come down to doing a one stop, so doing a racing medium stint and then going on over to a racing hard stint, or going for a long racing hard stint where you go for the no stop. So what you're seeing here is me going for the one stop, and you can get the racing medium tires to last quite a while. It's all going to come down to how your car treats its tires and how your own driving style treats its tires. So it is possible to go more than 7 laps on the racing medium tires. Just make sure that you take a look at your lap times, and once your times on the racing medium tires are getting really close or starting to overlap the times that you normally get on the racing hard tires, then you know it's time to go to the pit stop. What makes the one stop not as viable as the zero stop is that you do lose quite a bit of time on the pit stop. So your pit loss is going to be around 10 seconds. So unless if everyone around you is fighting each other like crazy, it's going to be difficult to make up that 10 seconds lost through the one stop. And the thing is that the racing medium tires are lapping around 1 second per lap faster than the racing hard tires, so it's already going to be difficult to try to make that up when you do go to the pit stop. But once again, if everyone around you starts to fight like crazy and you pretty much just start to run away and you somehow end up with a 10-second gap, then it is possible to pull off the one stop. And when you come out of the pits, then you're most likely going to still end up just in front of those behind you who are fighting. And the other thing is that if your car is really harsh on its tires, like the Audi TT Cup, then you're going to want to go with the one stop anyways. But if your car is pretty good on its tires, it takes really good care of them, then you can afford to go with either the one stop or the zero stop. And once again, the zero stop is good for those cars that are good on taking care of the tires. And if your own driving style does promote the tire wear from not being really bad, then this is a potentially good strategy for you. Once again, you just want to make sure that you're able to nurse the tires for all 10 laps so you don't start to suffer the time drop off towards the end of the race. You also want to adjust the brake balance so you can try to get the tire wear to be as even as possible. And the main benefits of the zero stop is that you don't have to go to the pit stop at all, so you don't have to worry about losing 10 seconds from the pit loss. And this strategy is going to be a little bit faster than the one stop just because of the pit loss. But just be careful, because as you do the race, there are going to be different people around you trying out different strategies. Some people might be doing the one stop, some people might be doing the zero stop. So when you all clash together, you just want to try to be as careful as possible so you don't get into any incidents and also don't get any penalties. But at the end of the day, the one stop has to deal with a pretty big pit loss, which makes the zero stop have the upper hand overall. And for those doing the zero stop, you just want to make sure that your car is pretty good on its tires so you don't have a crazy problem with the tire wear towards the end of the race. If your car is harsh on the tires, then you're just going to want to go with the one stop. And whichever strategy you go with, just be aware that other people around you will probably be trying out different strategies. So just try to get around them or try not to get into a huge battle with them so you don't end up getting yourself into any trouble. But that is pretty much it from me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.